You know that feeling. You're sitting in a warm room, wearing thick socks, maybe even under a blanket, and your feet are still cold. Not just chilly, genuinely cold, like they can't seem to warm up no matter what you do. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone, and it might not just be the temperature. Today I want to talk about one vitamin that plays a surprisingly big role in keeping your feet warm, and why so many people over 60 aren't getting enough of it. It's not magnesium, and the answer might surprise you. First, let's talk about what's actually going on when your feet feel cold. A lot of people assume it's just poor circulation, and sometimes it is. Blood flow to the hands and feet naturally slows as we age. The tiny blood vessels at the tips of our body, called capillaries, don't always get the same volume of blood as they did when we were younger. But here's what many people don't realize. Cold feet can also be a sign that your nerves aren't communicating properly. Think of your nerves like electrical wiring. When they're healthy, they send clear signals. These feet are cold. Let's warm them up. But when the protective coating around those nerves starts to break down, the signals get fuzzy. You might feel cold when you shouldn't, or numbness, or that prickly pins and needles sensation. And there's one vitamin that's absolutely essential for keeping that nerve coating healthy. That vitamin is B12. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I've heard of B12. Isn't that for energy? And yes, it is. But it does so much more. Vitamin B12 plays a critical role in two things that directly affect how your feet feel. One, it helps your body produce healthy red blood cells. Those are the cells that carry oxygen to every part of your body, including your feet. When you're low on B12, your red blood cell production drops. Less oxygen reaches your extremities. Your feet feel cold. 2, and this is the one most people miss. B12 maintains the myelin sheath. That's the protective coating around your nerves. Without enough B12, that coating deteriorates. Nerves misfire. Cold sensations, tingling, numbness, all possible signs. Here's where it gets especially relevant for anyone over 60. As we age, our stomach produces less of something called intrinsic factor. That's a protein that helps your body absorb B12 from food. Without enough intrinsic factor, you could eat B12-rich foods every single day and still end up deficient. Certain medications make this worse. If you take metformin for diabetes, or proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux, those can reduce B12 absorption over time. This is not rare. Studies suggest that up to 40% of adults over 60 may have low B12 levels. Some estimates are even higher. And many people have no idea because the symptoms come on so gradually. You might notice your feet feeling colder than usual. Maybe some tingling. Maybe you're a little more tired than you used to be. It's easy to chalk it up to just getting older. But it might be something you can actually address. Cold feet are one signal, but low B12 can show up in other ways too. You might notice these clues. Fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. Brain fog, trouble finding the right word or remembering names. Tingling or numbness in the hands as well as the feet. Balance problems, feeling unsteady when walking. Mood changes, feeling unusually low or irritable. A smooth, sore tongue. Now, I want to be clear. Having one or two of these does not automatically mean you're B12 deficient. These symptoms can have many causes. But if several of them sound familiar, especially the cold feet combined with fatigue or tingling, it's worth paying attention to. So what can you do about it? The first step is diet. B12 is found naturally in animal products. Eggs, especially the yolks. Fish, salmon, tuna, sardines. Lean meats, chicken, turkey, beef. Dairy, milk, yogurt, cheese. Fortified foods. Some breakfast cereals and plant milks have B12 added. If you eat a mostly plant-based diet, or if you've reduced meat and dairy for health reasons, you may need to be especially mindful about B12 intake. For many people, food alone may not be enough, especially if absorption is the issue, not intake. That's where supplementation comes in. B12 supplements come in several forms: tablets, sublingual drops that dissolve under the tongue, and in some cases, injections prescribed by a doctor. The most common and well-studied forms are methylcobalamin and cyanocobalamin. Methylcobalamin is the form your body uses directly. But here's the key point, and I cannot stress this enough. Please talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement. And this brings me to the most important part of this video. Cold feet can be a sign of low B12, but they can also be a sign of other conditions that need medical attention, not a supplement. If you experience any of these, please see a doctor. Sudden coldness in only 1 foot, skin that turns very pale, blue, or dark, sores on your feet that won't heal, sudden severe pain in your leg or foot, numbness that comes on suddenly rather than gradually. These can be signs of peripheral artery disease, diabetes-related nerve damage, or blood flow problems that need professional care. A vitamin is not the answer for these conditions, and if you do decide to check your B12 levels, ask your doctor for the right test. A standard blood test may show normal levels even when your body isn't using B12 effectively. Ask about testing for methylmalonic acid, or MMA, which is a more sensitive marker of B12 status. Let me leave you with 3 simple takeaways. 1. If your feet are persistently cold, pay attention. Don't just dismiss it as aging. 2. B12 deficiency is common after 60, and cold feet can be an early sign. The good news is it's often correctable. 3. Start with food. Eggs, fish, lean meat, dairy, and fortified cereals are all good sources. If you're considering a supplement, talk to your doctor first. And remember, I'm not a doctor, and this video is not medical advice. It's educational information to help you have a more informed conversation with your own healthcare provider. I hope this gave you something useful to think about. If you've dealt with cold feet and found something that helped, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Your experience might help someone else watching this video. And if you want more simple, practical health tips for adults over 60, hit that subscribe button. I share clear, no-nonsense information on nutrition, gentle movement, and healthy aging every week. Small changes lead to big results, one healthy choice at a time. Thanks for watching. Stay warm, and I'll see you in the next one.